Hey, what's up you guys? This is Sentai22 here. What do you think it would have been like if Saban adapted Hurricane? Andros is not a great leader.
Super question time! Starts now.
Hey, what's up you guys? This is Sentai22 here. How you guys all doing? And welcome to another episode of Super Question Time, where I'll answer your questions. Anything Power Rangers, Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, or any nerd-related questions, I will try to answer them for you. So, let's get started now, shall we? First question comes from God's Loyal Son, and he writes, if Disney chose to keep Power Rangers after the Marvel deal or choose to do co-ownership with Saban on the company that does Arrow, would the franchise be better than its current reboot stage? Granted, I do like Megaforce simply because Saban knows how to use the right action footage from Sentai. What do you think? And 2, with Power Rangers going by 20 episode season, should that make it affordable enough for Saban to do all the American footage? Your first question, after like I said before in my other vlogs and question times, after Marvel got bought by Disney, Power Rangers pretty much began going downhill. Well, actually, even before the Marvel deal. What I'm trying to say is that Disney did not care about the show. I mean, literally did not care. But once they bought it, you know, Disney thought of Power Rangers as an afterthought. They just didn't really wanted it anymore. So, of course, Saban came to the helm and pretty much rescued it from being thrown into obscurity. Now, if they would have kept it, if Saban didn't bought the franchise, if you were replying, it would have still, like, the franchise would just die. I mean, they would probably do kind of like what they did with the 2010 Mighty Morphin revision, try to revive other seasons with their fonts and the Batman effects and all that stuff. So it would have been a lot worse. But the toy line would still continue despite not having a show. Although, depending how long Bandai would keep it up, since there's no show for the series to pretty much market it. I mean, keep in mind, Power Rangers is a big toy commercial. I mean, what happens if Power Rangers doesn't exist and the toy line does exist, and you have the toys but no shows to watch them. I mean, you could say Transformers did that at one point. Didn't have a show for a couple of years, but still it kind of hurt the sales dramatically if you think about it. Now, what I would like to have seen is trying to work out a deal with Disney to for Disney to get the airing rights for Power Rangers while Saban owned the franchise. At least, they would air it on Disney XD, 32 episodes like they usually do, and that would have been a lot better. Although, it wouldn't be any better. I mean, if you look at Samurai, it had 40 episodes for 2 years, and it did not do so well. And, like I said before, as long as Jonathan Zecker is at the helm, Power Rangers will not get better. I mean, this show is just one big toy commercial. I mean, I don't really mind that it is, but at least I hope they try to make it into something like what they did with the Disney era. I mean, the Disney era didn't really care if it was a toy commercial or not. I mean, even though it had its flaws, they know how to do a good story. Unfortunately, this is what the Saban brands needs to learn, unfortunately. So, and your second question, yeah, they do have the money to actually make original footage, but unfortunately they don't want to, because you have to keep in mind the Sentai footage is there for a reason. You guys have to use it to cut costs, and that's Saban's mentality right there. Do less, get more. That's what his vision is, and look what happened. He got the series, he got the rights to the Sentai footage in the 80s. He adapted it for Mighty Morphin for just a little bit of a budget, and then of course it exploded, and that's how he got his investment back, pretty much. A lot of money. So, I mean, he could, but like I said, it Saban wouldn't even like it, to be honest. He wouldn't approve it. I mean, unless if the budget was a little bit bigger, then I probably would guarantee they would probably do a lot of American footage like they did with season 3, but I really doubt that we will see that again. So, okay, the next question comes from Jamal Hean, and he writes, do you like the fact that the Gokaiger suits are power-ups, or do you want it like the end of Megaforce? They lose their powers and they'll get new suits, Gokaigers, and the rest of the Gokaiger essentials. I would have loved the whole losing their power type plot, because it just would have been a great tribute to the Zeo thing. But no, they kind of wanted to do the whole power-up thing, which in my opinion is just very ridiculous. Turning angels into pirates. Nah, I'm just kidding. It just wouldn't make any sense, because first of all, you have Jake transforming to black to green. I mean, of course Gosei would say, to the Rangers that you can change your colors, you don't have to necessarily be in the same color, but still, it would have just been better if they would just gotten new powers instead. It would have been a lot better. Although, I think the reason for the whole power-up thing is probably because they still have a substantial amount of Goseiger footage, and they don't want to waste it. And also, you have to think about the Gokaiger footage. It's very limited to a few post True Ranger footage that Power Rangers adapted. So it would have been a very serious issue that they would have to make a lot of original footage, and that Saban wouldn't want to do. Like I said in the other question, that's what the Sentai footage is for, to cut costs. So, okay, the last question comes from Kamachi Power, and he writes, Batman versus Superman, who would win? I would have to say Batman, just because he has the wits and the knowledge to beat Superman. If you watch the movies, the DC movies that comes out on DVD, there was this scene in, I forgot which movie was it, the animated movies I'm talking about, not the live action, where Batman gives where